Welcome to MFG 254, Solid Modeling with SolidWorks. This class was formerly GTC 266 and it has changed format to an online hybrid. Let's take a quick look at the schedule. The internet lecture will be through Canvas and YouTube. The hybrid lab is listed for Thursdays 4:30 to 5:20. That is in parallel to the CAM lab. So those times are a little bit variable. If you need to take advantage of the face-to-face lab time, then let me know and we'll find a time that's convenient for you. On the main MCC page, let's go to the student email first. And takes me to the login page. You're going to use your MEID and password if you haven't gotten those yet. They should have been issued to you when you registered. If you've lost your MEID, let me know via email. We'll see that here in a second on Canvas. You can request your MEID and then reset your password. So I'm going to pause while I enter my information since I don't want to give it to everybody. And we're back, and the account comes up with your school email. So mine is telling me about my YouTube creators. Would recommend that you come over to the settings, and underneath your settings we'll find, let's see, I have a signature. Okay, so we have the forwarding and POP IMAP. Would recommend that you forward a copy of incoming mail to an account you use regularly, so I don't have to log into this account all of the time, but all of the mail will automatically be forwarded to my standard email, jerrylacey@mesacc.edu. Let's jump over into the little boxes. All right, so the 9 little boxes, and then we'll go into Drive. As we go through the semester, I'm going to add a folder, and anything you turn in on Canvas, or if you choose to use Drive, you'll have access to a folder within this group. So once I create your folder and share it with you, it will show up under Shared with Me, and then any folder that's listed in here, you can right-click and add to My Drive, and that will list it with the rest of the grouping in that main folder. So more of a shortcut. At the end of the semester, I'll transfer ownership of your files to you, and I keep a backup for my records, and then after a while they just get deleted. So get kind of familiar with navigating through the Google email and the Google Drive. So let's go back over. We'll just start anew and come back to the mesacc.edu. You can create shortcuts for each of these items, so the student email and Canvas. Other items, the mymaricopa.edu is for registration, going and finding your grades, your transcripts, etc. The class schedule we looked at just a moment ago. Those are probably the main items here. So let's take a look at Canvas. And again, I'll pause while I enter my information. So Canvas is our learning management system. There are kind of the clearinghouse for all of our information. Any classes that you've signed up that have a course published, and after I finish this video, this will be published. Let's see, we are looking for fall of, and I have 2 of those because they're separated into the lecture and the lab. So let's go to the first one. And here is my welcome statement. Again, contact email, jerrylacey@mesacc.edu, or the Gmail account. As you read down through, that's will get you prepared. The Get Set Up will go to the syllabus here in a second, course information. There is a discussion assignment. Since we're hybrid, it's nice to know a little bit about you and also introduce yourself to your classmates. There is a wealth of information and experience within your group, and to have a little bit of that background also helps me to know what topics to discuss. Contact information. So I'll have your maricopa.edu email address, but would like to have a secondary email address and contact, and also that you've read and understand the course syllabus and course information above. Assignments are scanned and available as a backup. The textbook is for technical drawing from the 9th edition to the 15th edition. Should be able to find something in your price range. There may be minor differences from version to version, but we'll cover those details. I'll be using the technical drawing 14th edition. Just did the maricopa.edu email account, having it forward to an email that you use regularly, at least for this semester. All right, so what everybody's kind of interested in is to get started. We're using SOLIDWORKS 2018 software. When you click on the download instruction, there is an admin. It contains links, and we have a limited number of licenses, student serial numbers to make available. So obviously I can't make that public, but when you go in there, the first will be to download an admin image that automatically installs. We'll go through how to do that here in a little bit. The second one is if you want to log into the SOLIDWORKS website and download the installation manager, make selections, add or take away softwares that I don't think are as important. So those are both available. The assignments are available as a item 3, or on the other side bar we have the assignments, and then the media. So I will put this video just above the fall 2018, so you have immediate access to it, and then the subsequent lectures that start in on the assignments, and the instructional information will accumulate in that folder. Some background information we'll use in the coming weeks. Default SOLIDWORKS locations, hotkeys and shortcuts. Our Interlink Engineering is the local SOLIDWORKS users group, and they provided a shortcuts list. So I would say take a look at that as you get more familiar. As we get further into the semester and we talk about the whole wizard and the various applications of threads, these are the formulas that I'll refer back to as a baseline. Getting familiar with units, tens, ones, zeros, zero place, and then from a machinist manufacturing standpoint, 0.1 tenths, not really preferred. Hundredths, not preferred. Thousandths is preferred. 3/4 of an inch is 750. 0.75 or 750 thousandths. Tenths of a thousandth, or shortened to tenths, that's where the confusion arises of tenths and tenths. So if you have any doubts, clarify, is that 1/10 of an inch or 1/10,000th of an inch? And then we go to 50 millionths, which is about what we can reasonably expect with standard equipment to even approach holding as a tolerance. All right, so we have to be an order of magnitude above whatever we're trying to measure to. So if I have a 50 millionths indicator or a 50 millionths digital micrometer, I can legitimately say that I'm measuring to tenths. When you get over into the metric system, 1 millimeters equals 10 decimeters, just like we did in the inches. Not very common. Centimeters, not really my preference. I think in terms of millimeters, and when we go back to the threads and the conversions from metric to standard, millimeters is the preferred unit. All right, so 1 meter equals 1 million microns, 10 to the minus 6 meters. All right, so in depending on what industry, as you go into semiconductor, into some of the medical bio industries, commonly will refer to microns. Let's see, and then in assignment 1, view 2 is 106 by 58 by 52. I hope those are millimeters. We're going to need a really big machine if it's 106 by 58 by 52. So these should have a concept of basis in reality of what is practical to machine. There may be parts that are that big, and we will need a really big machine. And then 3D printing and conversations, information with additive manufacturing. Okay. So let's take a quick look at the course information. This goes out to a external website, so it is always available. And one of the first things is your basic understanding of computers. We looked at Google Drive, and this really is, there's a lot of jargon, a lot of new vocabulary, and the it can be like learning a new language. All right. Classes rely heavily on visually intensive software. There are a lot of things going on, a lot of visual clues that are occurring, and hopefully the videos will give you a chance to watch and follow the process and the workflow. You'll have access to your MEID and password, some of the shortcuts, and we'll download the 2018. We looked at that in Canvas. Assignments and grades. Important one here is that F's and I's need to be requested. If something happens, please let me know that you can't complete the class, but also if anything comes up, I will withdraw you before I assign a grade of F or an incomplete. Let's see, frequently asked questions, student responsibilities, payments, and refunds. Pretty much everything the Maricopa Community College District has me put into the syllabus, into the course information. Disability services, if you have a disability and would like to request some type of accommodation, this is where you'll find the information. They will assess and then fill me in on what I can do to assist in your education. The SOLIDWORKS voluntary product accessibility template is kind of a matrix of what the software can and can't do. Online and hybrid, I will roll through Canvas. There is a tracking that tells me the last date you logged in. Also, I will be watching for you to consistently turn in your assignments. Lecture and lab, course syllabus, course class schedule, as we mentioned before. The lecture will be on YouTube, and there is more than enough material, and the current semesters going forward is different from the previous semesters. All of the information, I will do my best to keep it consistent, and the workflows very similar. And we're going to focus on foundation material. One of the shifts in focus is to prepare you for the CSWA. Academic honesty. You may and should use all resources available. Ask questions of me, your fellow students. Do your own work. The honors achievement. If you'd like to participate in the honors class, you can contact them and get the information. EARS doesn't really apply to us, but it will be available. Netiquette, as far as the discussions, some basic ideas revolving around our online interaction. Have social media. It comes and it goes, let's put it that way. So I have most of the social media. If there's something that you use and would like to have access or availability to, let me know. Because these are recorded, and I may be recording in class, or we may just do a short lecture or capture in the classroom, and you're there, please be aware that while I'm recording, your voice may be recorded as part of the lecture or the example material. We have a course matrix and kind of an overall, and need to update that. The 236 and the 266 have changed MFG. The 276, which is more of the CAM software that lives inside of SolidWorks, is now under special projects. So solid modeling with SolidWorks syllabus. Okay, so MFG 254, days and times. This changed a couple times over the first part of the summer, so I will have to double check this, but I think we're open lab 4:30 to 5:20. But as I mentioned, it parallels the CAM lab, so CAM and SolidWorks will both be available for those times. Let's see. Online, if you want to go directly to YouTube, the recommendation is that you log into Canvas regularly so that your time is recorded, and then if you are on a tablet or through some other type of computer, then you can go directly to the channel. And found my first typo specific to MFG 254. Contact information, and then online hybrid, time commitment. The video lectures, I'll try to keep it about an hour. Some will run a little bit shorter, a little bit longer, depends on how they break up or pauses. You just schedule enough time. Depending on your skill level, your comfort level, plan on 3 to 5 hours a week. This is not a torture device. If you are struggling, if there's some concept that hasn't quite come through on the videos, then it's a good time to either contact me in the discussions, send me an email, or stop by the lab on Thursday night. Also, if there is another time, then we can make a face-to-face appointment. Again, the textbook, Technical Drawing, 9th edition, that is Giseki et al. And really the 9th edition has a mix of inch and metric. Before the 9th edition it was predominantly inch, so we do want to work in that mix. We'll be in the SolidWorks 2018 again. You'll need a USB storage. Again, you can use the Google Drive if you're comfortable with it. One of the downsides is that the Maricopa does not allow for direct syncing, so you would need to share your Google Drive folder to a personal account, and then your personal account could sync. And if you need assistance setting that up, let me know. Let's see. So course descriptions, I'm going to kind of buzz over that one real quick because we're going to see it again in its official, in the district official course description. Assignments are managed in the Canvas system, approximately 10 parts a week, 6 to 10 parts. We'll start to produce basic drawings about the 4th week, so starting heavy with sketching, building it into features and becoming more complex as we go. When we get to kind of through that first wave of introductory material, then we'll switch to a complete overview project. So you get a chance to see building the parts, doing a simple assembly, creating 3, 4, 5 drawings, and then having a complete package to start with. Taking the CSWA exam is the final. And the exam at this stage is still, you get the points for taking it, pass or fail. All right, so it takes some of the pressure off. I still want you to do good. I want you to work towards that as a goal. But I don't think it's fair in the online context and from my experience that to say there's 100 points on the final, and that what you get on that exam is your final grade or whatever. So, and then vouchers are provided to you at no additional cost. Also, I would recommend that you sign up for the mysolidworks.com. Currently, there are e-courses and videos available in addition to other resources. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and close that one out. We're back into Canvas. So basically, I just took the shortcut in the website over to the course information. The introduce yourself is under the discussions, and then with each assignment there will be kind of a reflection that I would like to know at least one thing that you had a problem with or that you would like to know more about. And so those reflections will accumulate as 5-point assignments as you turn in each item. Let's see, so we've been through that. The other access to the syllabus, I passed it. We'll go into the syllabus, so another link to the course information. Course competencies and outlines. So I'm going to refer to this one because this is very similar to the GTC 266 with a couple of additions. All right, so complex solid model parts and part files, multiple parts into assemblies, sub-assemblies, creating working drawings, and manage a database. Understand a little bit about file management, folders, things that are going on in the background in Windows. Use solid parts to generate engineering data so we can get mass properties, center of mass, do some basic checking. We'll also start to use the model-based definition, MBD. And as that ties into DIM Expert and some of the other available tools, there are different ways of displaying our geometry. Assemblies to create motion analysis, so basic animation, and then file translations, being able to import and export pair solids, step files, going between the various solid modelers. And what is SolidWorks reading as a native inventor file or an NX10 file. All right, so breaking down further, different terminology as we're going through. And just kind of this over. And unless it changed. Now I'm not seeing it, of course. Exploded views, bill of materials, multi-sheet drawings, motion analysis. Okay, well, I don't know if it updated, or I'm just overlooking it, but 2018 has SOLIDWORKS CAM available, so if I go back and I find the CAM reference again, or find out that it was removed, we'll still do a an introduction and overview to SOLIDWORKS CAM. So SOLIDWORKS CAM is powered by CAMWorks and lives inside of SOLIDWORKS to perform toolpaths directly onto our models. Okay, so that's kind of a quick introduction. Let's see what else I might have missed. You can also contact in the inbox inside of Canvas. That will create an email inside of the Canvas system, as well as sending a copy to my personal email. All right, so I kind of resize the window here. So I mentioned that when you download whichever version, either the installation manager or the admin version. Okay, my mouse is not cooperating. Okay, the window's not cooperating. When you download the admin version or the SOLIDWORKS installation manager, with the admin version, you will, jumped over it, you will get the zip file containing, what is it, about 7 or 8 gig and 20 some odd thousand files. Would recommend that you extract it. After you've extracted it, you can delete the zip file if you're short on space. So 5.19, and I think it expands to 10 gig. Under the SOLIDWORKS admin, it is going to be 2018 Service Pack 3. And then you can do the start swinstall.exe, and it will I'll pretty much, let's see, I already have it installed, so I don't want to duplicate it. It doesn't show you a whole lot, let's put it that way. It opens a command window, and then comes up and says SOLIDWORKS will start to install in 5 minutes. You hit OK. It's pretty much a walk away for an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, and come back and you will have SOLIDWORKS icons. And what the admin has for an advantage is that it is putting the add-ins and the file locations and the serial number in for you. We're not having to do all of those extra steps. So hopefully that makes it a little bit more convenient to install. But if you're tech savvy and want to include, I don't think plastics and electrical are, for instance, are important at this level. So that is another 2 or 3 gig that I saved having to install on your system, since we're probably not going to get to it or use it. All right, so if you have any questions with the installs, we'll open that up in the discussions, and of course email on the system. So that will pretty much wrap up the introduction. The next we'll start in on the next video. We'll start in on the overview, quick introduction of the SOLIDWORKS workspace.